Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Samantha Harrelson. Janelle is off tonight and Jay is on assignment. He'll be joining us in just a minute. Well, it's easy to forget that nearly 7 years have passed since the devastating oil spill of 2011 marred the face of the Yellowstone River. Today, Governor Steve Bullock took a major step forward in securing the healthy future of the river. Q2's Connor Pregitzer has the details from the governor's announcement.
That signature from Governor Bullock marks the culmination of 7 years of hard work following the ExxonMobil oil spill of 2011. It also marks the inception of the Yellowstone River Recreation Plan. This plan aims to improve recreation facilities along the Yellowstone. Governor Bullock says that the plan is a repayment to the community.
As part of the $12 million natural resource damages settlement, $2.3 million was set aside to compensate the public for the loss of access to the river and recreation during the spill and the cleanup.
The spill poured 63,000 gallons of crude oil into the river. Cleanup efforts spanned 85 river miles and nearly 11,000 acres of property. Governor Bullock hopes this action can serve to help repair the damage that was done.
This really does mark yet another step in the process to return the Yellowstone River and its surrounding ecosystem to the majestic state that it was prior to that oil spill.
Attorney General Tim Fox said that the projects included in this plan, including things like a riverside campground in Laurel, additional access points for fishing on the river, and improvements to recreational areas like Lake Josephine, will hopefully benefit the community for years to come.
The work that will be done under this plan is ever so important, not only to the generations here, but for so many more generations in the future.
Governor Bullock's signing today means that the $2.3 million allocated to this project can now be officially put to use. Residents of the Billings area along the Yellowstone River can look forward to groundbreaking on these projects later this year. In Billings, Connor Pregitzer, MTN News.
Thank you, Connor. Work can start on those projects after a contract is signed between the sponsoring agency and the National Resource Damage Program. The Big Sky State's energy future will be examined from a variety of perspectives at this week's Montana Energy Summit here in Billings. Republican U.S. Senator Steve Daines is hosting the two-day conference and kicked things off this morning, leading up top U.S. energy officials on a tour of the Colstrip power plants in the Rosebud coal mine. That's where Q2's Jay Cohn caught up with the senator this afternoon.
Well, a day in the life of a U.S. Senator. We're here in Colstrip today with Senator Steve Daines, who just wrapped up a whirlwind tour of the power plants and the coal mine and did a little roundtable discussion. Senator, your takeaway, this was a pretty good discussion this afternoon.
You know, it was a great discussion. It's wonderful to have folks coming from Washington, D.C. here to Colstrip. We had the first ever Federal Energy Regulatory Commissioner here in Colstrip in the history of FERC. And to hear firsthand from the people of Colstrip, the folks who work here every day, about the challenge we face here, the impact that coal and Colstrip has on this community was very, very telling and I think very helpful for those who were here.
A different tone today than some of the transition meetings we've seen, how this town transitions away from coal. Seemed like the focus today was how do we enhance the coal on the market and get this grid more resilient than it is, the electrical grid. Tell us about that.
Well, the last administration thought that coal was the problem. This new administration believes that coal was part of the solution. What I mean by that is not putting all of our eggs in any one basket, having a diverse portfolio of energy sources, of hydro, of wind, of solar, of oil, of gas, also of coal. You know, 32% of our nation's energy comes from coal. It needs to remain an important part of our diverse portfolio. That's how you can keep prices low, reliability high, and importantly for the Montana economy, the tax base, the jobs, good high-paying jobs with great benefits. We need to keep these here in Montana. That's why we're fighting on behalf of the folks here in Colstrip.
So what's your takeaway? Are we looking at a government subsidy perhaps for this coal plant and this coal mine to get it through the tough times right away?
Well, I'll tell you, part of the solution here, and that's why we had folks from Secretary Rick Perry, the Department of Energy's team with us. In fact, one was a high-level official, appointed by the U.S. Senate that was here today. She heard firsthand the challenges. She's taken that right back to Secretary Perry, what we can do in the short term here to buy more time to figure this out. We don't want to have a knee-jerk reaction that's occurred, frankly, from the last administration. Australia has learned the hard way. Taiwan has learned the hard way. Germany's learned the hard way, moving too fast in this versus keeping a balanced, common sense kind of approach. So I think we need to work to level the playing field on these energy.
And Jay joining us now with more on this look at Colstrip's renewed future.
Well, that's right, Sammy. That meeting today in Colstrip, well, it was focused on how Montana coal and Montana coal-fired electricity fits into this new U.S. energy mix. And I'll have much more on that for you tonight at 10, including we'll hear from Talon Energy CEO Ralph Alexander. He describes Colstrip, Sammy, as the poster child of this complicated U.S. energy scene across the country. He has a very interesting perspective. We'll bring it to you tonight at 10.
Great, Jay. Thanks so much. We look forward to hearing about it. Yellowstone County is now out of the woods for now when it comes to the threat of major flooding. County Commissioner John Ostlund was out surveying the condition of the Yellowstone River this morning and let Q2 come along for the ride. As you can see, there's a great deal of erosion on the banks of the river right now. The bridges are structurally sound, but debris is prevalent. The river did not reach its estimated flood stage, but Ostlund advises residents and onlookers to be aware of possible changes, especially in low-lying areas.
The original forecast was a record flood, and the snow was certainly up there, and there was a storm headed that direction. Fortunately for us, it turned and went east and over the Bighorn Mountains and missed most of Yellowstone and the Beartooth, so we really dodged a bullet. And the flooding that we got now, there's certainly some people that are struggling, and there's lowland flooding and some houses and folks that have a little trouble, but largely we're very good, and it looks like the forecast is going to make it even better.
Some areas of concern were the Cowboys restaurant in Huntley and a home near Thiel Road in Laurel, where the river is running right up to the back door. And even from the sky, you can tell the river is still running very high today. Bob, what's our current river forecast?
Well, in the Billings area, the Yellowstone is not forecast to get above flood stage. Good news there. It's down around 13 feet, flood stage 13.5. But take a look at all the other rivers. They are all basically out of their banks. They are in flood warning right now. So let's show you what's happening. The Yellowstone River at Miles City, that's a 13.1 today. It is forecast to go to 14.2 on Saturday, so that'll be more flooding. Also, the Tongue River at Bernie, that's kind of low today, but it's forecast on tomorrow to get actually later tonight and tomorrow to get up to about 8 feet. Meanwhile, the Clarks Fork at the Yellowstone, that's expected to get up to 9 feet on Saturday. The Yellowstone River at Livingston, that's going to get to 10 feet. Meanwhile, take a look at this. The Muscle River at Shawmut and Lavina, all out of their banks and expected to get a little bit higher this week and probably crest somewhere around 6 to 9 feet this weekend. Sammy?
Thanks, Bob. And starting October 1st, all livestock haulers will have to use electronic logging devices to track their hours on the road, but ranchers say this could hurt their bottom line. Today we caught up with Senator Tester, one of 11 senators from both sides of the aisle, looking to pass legislation that would provide certain exemptions for those hauling livestock.
Montana raises the best ag products in the world, cattle especially, and we have to be able to get those cows to market. The rules in Washington, D.C. don't allow us to do that, and quite frankly, treats the animals pretty inhumanely in the process and doesn't help with safety.
The bipartisan Transporting Livestock Across America Safely Act, brought forward by Senator John Tester, would essentially allow those who haul livestock more time on the road.
Ranchers and folks know that are buying and selling cattle. It takes a little bit of time to get these cattle loaded. Your electronic logging device should not be on during that time frame. This bill does that.
Electronic logging devices would not be turned on until outside of a 300-mile radius, and after that, drivers would have 15 hours of drive time. Those in support of the bill say this is crucial for the industry. They say these shorter drive times mean cattle has to be loaded and unloaded more than once, causing the animals extra stress.
Well, you're dealing with something that's alive, okay? You're dealing with cattle. You're not dealing with a bushel of wheat. You're not dealing with something that's stored on a pallet. You're dealing with live animals. And when you get them loaded up, you got to be able to get them to the feedlots. Those feedlots are in the Midwest. The way the rules are right now, you'd have to unload these animals when you get a certain ways down the road. That's not practical. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work for the trucker, and it certainly doesn't work for the cows.
These feeder cattle, these cattle in this part of the world that are 15, 16, over 15 hours from the Corn Belt, these cattle are going to start becoming worth a lot less. Not just a little bit less, but maybe $15, $20, $100 less.
Area ranchers say there could be severe consequences if this bill doesn't pass.
We're going to have to start looking at team drivers to be able to haul livestock. The costs are going to be incurred on trucking companies such as ourselves to pay 2 drivers and to keep up on the extra mandates. We're going to make it very difficult for a lot of people to stay in business. Your costs are going to go up and your income is going to go down. So Montana families, Montana ranch families, they're going to feel the hit if this bill doesn't get passed.
Senator Tester says the initial regulations are just an example of how out of touch Washington, D.C. is with rural America. Well, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Coming up on your Q2 530 News, only 209 days till Christmas. While you still have plenty of time to do your shopping, it's getting to be crunch time for Christmas tree growers. We'll have an update. And in sports, Scott brings us to the world of one Montana golfer spending his summer playing every course in the state. We're back right after this.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Cohn and Janelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire and sports with Scott Green. This is the 530 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.